Good football Sunday, everybody. It's your boy CJ Richardson. We talk sports. It's that NFL Sunday morning fan chat where you guys help me pick the games, man. But everybody knows there's one game everybody will be watching today, and that's the Dallas Cowboys and the Minnesota Vikings. Wait.
Today's a new day. This is a new year. New opportunity to be our best. Hey, it don't matter if we're at home or if we're on the road. You come to watch us. They come to watch us. Let's give them a show. Excellence and brotherhood.
CD Lamb. The Cowboys win it.
A Lawrence, él sigue todavía. Diagonales.
Diggs again. Diggs again. Diggs again.
It's ours. We got to go earn that now.
Gotta go earn this. Go earn this. Back to winning. Back to winning. Back to winning today. Dallas Cowboys, Minnesota Vikings. 8-1 Minnesota Vikings. Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins, two quarterbacks that people often compare. Playoff atmosphere. Cowboys on the road. Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson. Can the Cowboys stop the run? It's the question everybody is asking. Vegas has the Cowboys 1.5 favorite. We're going to talk about it, man. I'm just excited we get another week of NFL football. Every week it's a must-win game for the Dallas Cowboys. This is a big game, though. This is one of the biggest games of the season thus far. The 6-3 Dallas Cowboys take on the 8-1 Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings have exceeded expectations, and they kind of remind me of a 2016 Dallas Cowboys team. These teams are very similar. The 2016 Cowboys won a lot of one-possession games as well. Went on the streak. I think we finished 13-3 that year, but we had early exit from the playoffs, so it's very disappointing. These Vikings, they have firepower on offense, and when they're playing good, the defense rallies to the ball. This is going to be a great game today. The key to victory I see in this one, Cowboys got to establish the run and defend the run. I just wanted to put that out there right before we start, because if we can't stop the run, Dalvin Cook is going to have his Thanksgiving Day turkey today. And that's just the way I see it, man. So we got to get back to winning. Speaking of running, Ezekiel Elliott, they say they want to ease him back into the rotation. So expect Tony Pollard to get a heavy dose of carries today. We need to limit our penalties. Penalties is going to be a key. Penalties are a key in every Cowboys game. You know, I just want to see how the referees are calling the game and if they can call it consistently. You know, I don't really worry too much. When we get a lot of penalties, the holdings, defensive pass interference, the false starts, oh my goodness. It just sets up everything. And we need to play in front of the sticks. When Dallas doesn't play in front of the sticks, we normally don't play well. I tend to tell you guys that the Cowboys normally, we win the game we're not supposed to win. You know, even though we're a slight favorite, 1.5, it's still a pick 'em game. So we gotta go out and beat them, and we got to bring that A team, that A game today, because if we don't, we might get blowed out. I'm just being real. You know, the Vikings are explosive. You know, Kirk Cousins has been known to put up big numbers, and he's been known also to throw that late interception. Now, Dak Prescott and Kirk Cousins head to head. I think Dak is 4-1 over him. But he was with the Redskins, the Commanders, the football team, or whoever that was. You like that? This might not be the same Kirk Cousins. So we got to go in there full guns blazing. We got to roll today, man. Oh, it's gonna be a long day. So Justin Jefferson, I would love to see Diggs and Jefferson just matched up all over the field. I'm not sure what limitations Diggs has to why he can't follow that premier receiver on the other side. Do you guys ever wonder, like, why doesn't he travel? Why doesn't he take the challenge? They've said it before, DeAndre. They've said it before that he would travel. I got to see it for a whole game, not a half. I want to see that one-on-one, two ballers balling. That's what you pay that $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 for a ticket. You want to see the premier matchups. Another matchup, as we talked about, was Kirk Cousins and Dak Prescott. Man, two quarterbacks who can put up big numbers. Two quarterbacks that can do exceptional. Also two quarterbacks that have question marks. They've often been linked to each other their entire careers. I'm looking for Dak Prescott to have a big game today. I really am. I got company. Let's see who we got in the inbox here. What up, Jay?
Not much.
Hey, I'm just getting the program started, man. I was rolling solo for a minute. Glad you're here. Minnesota Vikings today. Give me your first thoughts.
Tough offense.
Okay.
Hockenson, and they play with heart. They've been down a lot of games by double digits,
right?
And they battle back. So you gotta you can't let off the gas with them, as Buffalo saw last week.
Right.
And Justin Jefferson is a good matchup for Trevon Diggs today.
I got you. McKinley Walker, who is a San Francisco 49er fan, never has anything great to say or good to say about the Cowboys. He says because great route runners kill him. Nah, I don't agree with that. If you get pressure on the quarterback, there's no such thing as a great route runner. However, when the quarterback has all day, I probably could run a route on somebody. Trevon Diggs is a kind of a silent assassin to me. He does step up at certain times. However, he has lulls in every game. He'll have 2 interceptions in a game, and you go back and look at the stats, he's giving up 101 yards. Would you agree, Justin?
Yeah, he's high risk, high reward because he's a risk taker.
Mm-hmm.
He uses his athleticism, and sometimes his athleticism can be used to his advantage when he's out of position, and
right,
that can be seen.
Exactly. So, but I'm looking forward to the matchup today, man. What's the most intriguing part of this game today? What actually do you want to see today? What matchups were most intriguing to you?
The front seven and how they can contain Dalvin Cook,
right.
another power rusher, and he likes to run up the middle and not really out to the side.
Right.
And I like this. I like the matchup of Hockenson with one of our linebackers.
True.
Because we struggle with big body tight ends in the past, the athletic tight ends who can stretch the field.
I think we struggle anytime we don't get pressure on any quarterbacks. I just really do. And most teams do. But when we get pressure on quarterbacks, we tend to have a lot of success. And I think teams around the league are thinking they have the script to beat the Cowboys, which is run the ball. I'm looking for today for us to put that to bed. You know what I'm saying? I look for us to limit Dalvin Cook today to show the rest of the league that we actually can run the ball. And the most important statement that I would love for my Dallas Cowboys to make today is we can beat a team with a winning record. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
How do you feel about that?
I think that narrative is kind of skewed because we have beat teams that have had winning records. It just so-called happened that after they played us,
right,
they declined. Because I do believe the Rams had a winning record when we played them.
Right.
But now, as of late, they don't look like the team that we played. but that's not any fault of our own.
Correct. I'm with you. I just wanted to hear your comments on it, because a lot of people, Cowboys can't beat any teams with winning records, but you only play the schedule.
Right.
I feel the exact same way, man. But I think it's going to be a great game too. We need to start fast. Ezekiel Elliott is coming back. They're going to ease him into the rotation. We spoke on briefly earlier. Pass to run concept. How would you like to see that distributed today? 50-50, 60-40? How would you like to see that?
I think we're at our best when we're balanced.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see a balanced attack. And an interesting point was made this week. This was the game last year that Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb got into it, where he had told Amari to change the route so he could get the game-winning touchdown. So CeeDee might get his chance this year to get that game-winning touchdown. So I just hope he's ready for it. That's all I had.
We got George Nix on here. He says Cook with 200 yards. Well, I hope he got a farm somewhere in Arizona, because I'm not sure we're gonna get that from.
To your point, last week you had stated that if we didn't contain the run,
right,
and we were giving up about 4 yards a carry, I think you said
4.7.
4.7. You said if we gave that up, we would not win. And last week we gave up 5.6 to their running backs in Green Bay, and it was a long day. And every play that Christian Watson had was 26 yards or more. So that was not a recipe to win. So keeping Jefferson under that and keeping Dalvin Cook under that is a big key.
Right. Now, a lot of people always, when you talk about the Cowboys, you can't have a conversation without talking about Micah Parsons. Okay. And then I look at the where he lined up sheet for the year, and he's all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Where would, if you were the defensive coordinator, where are you lining him up at most today, and why?
I think he wreaks the most havoc when he's playing that defensive end role, and I would line him up there and solely use him in a Charles Haley role. Just tell him, just go get the quarterback every play. Because if this is what we brought Anthony Barr in to alleviate, and I know that Barr was out with the hamstring, but I think that is where we should utilize him the most, because that's where he seems to be the most effective. I mean, he's effective everywhere on the field, but that's where I feel the most comfortable with him, especially with D-Law with his foot injury.
Yeah, I kind of like him at the defensive end spot as well. And then when we don't have him at defensive end, I still need him in a position of pressure. And when I say pressure, I'm talking double A gaps. We need to just shoot A gaps, man. You can't run up the middle if we got 230, 40-pound linebackers coming, at random. You got to be careful when you do it. However, it's like when we take him off the end, bringing that pressure, 2.9 seconds, you got to get the ball off. It gives teams opportunities to scheme for it, So I like to see even when we move them around, bring them up the middle more, We lined him up beside DeMarcus Lawrence a couple of times, and I didn't really get much out of that. So I didn't really like that. And then when we play him in coverage, he does pretty well in coverage.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. McKinley says, I love this sports talk, bro. Hey, be a part of the show, man. I can send you a link if you'd like to be on. Just hit me in my inbox. You understand what I'm saying? So everybody's welcome. It's not a Cowboy show. It's a sports talk show. We just talk sports. That's what we do, my brother. Everybody's welcome to join. We do it every Sunday morning prior to the games. And we're just here, man.
You said McKinley was a 49er fan, right?
Yes, he's a 49er fan.
Brandon Ayuk is coming on strong for y'all, which I knew he would, because Jimmy and him have a connection. And I thought that Jimmy starting was a benefit to Ayuk's success as a breakout wide receiver. And I had him as a breakout candidate this year. So shouts out to what they're building in San Francisco with McCaffrey now starting to come into his own in that offense.
Now, as I was saying earlier, Justin, when we look at the Minnesota Vikings and then you look at the Dallas Cowboys, the two teams kind of mirror each other. The only thing difference is the 8-1 and 6-3, But if you kind of like put up the stats, offensively, defensively, they kind of mirror each other. Both of them have potentially high-scoring offenses and defenses that can shut you down. So when you look at the matchups today, which one wins out more? You think it's going to be a more of an offensive game or a defensive game today?
I think it could be more. I think it's going to be more offensive. Because I worry about the secondary the Vikings have and being able to contain our receivers. I know Patrick Peterson is there, and I know Andre Booth from Clemson, the rookie, is there as well. And I know they have some safeties that kind of are there too, but with Harrison Smith, but I know he's banged up. But I think our receivers will be able to get more separation, which is going to swing it in our favor.
I got you. I see it as being like excuse me, y'all, but the cough. I see like a 27-24 game, in the NFL postseason type atmosphere. I see the running backs playing a major part. I see a lot of play action off of the run if you can establish it. And I think both teams will try to control the clock with the run game, so it's going to be a limited number of possessions per team, and the team that capitalizes ultimately is going to be the team that wins. And when you say that, both of these quarterbacks are under a lot of pressure, I think. And I'm a diehard Dak Prescott fan, and Dak has to show up today. That's my boy. He got to show up today and show out. I think Kellen Moore or whoever's calling the offense, because every time we talk about the offense, we get different opinions. So our play calling has to be as such. It's like, to me, we use Dak. We don't use him the right way. Like, it's 3rd and 12. The straight dropbacks, they work, but sometimes we have to move that pocket. Do you ever get that feeling when you're watching the game? Like, everybody's just keying on a certain spot because that's where Dak's going to be, but we don't call any planned rollouts or sprint out with the quarterback. How do you feel about that?
I felt that way last week because I said when Zeke was out, you signed a guy who is, the reigning USFL MVP and was a running back. Why didn't we put Turpin in the backfield and split Pollard and Turpin in the backfield and and use him as kind of a running back as opposed to a wide receiver, and maybe get him to stretch the field and hit those. I mean, he's not a power runner, but he can stretch the field in a Pollard role. And I would have used him in a Percy Harvin hybrid Travis Etienne like role, and that would have probably helped our offense in Green Bay.
I got you. Yeah, I feel the same way, man. Sometimes the quarterback and the head coach can get all the blame, but it's a game within the game, and then we all see something different every Sunday. Because if you go back and look into various Cowboys group, the first thing you're gonna see, Dak Prescott lost the game. I'm gonna say this for the last time. I don't need to say it anymore. Dak Prescott had the Cowboys ahead, no matter what he did prior to. He had the Cowboys 28-14 in the fourth quarter. Am I right or am I wrong?
I would say that, and I usually tell people all the time when they come at me and say, well, I don't like the way Dak played, or I don't like that Dak did this, but I say, please, come back to me and give me a list of games that Dak Prescott single-handedly cost us the game, where he threw a pick at the end,
correct,
or he did something that was a bonehead play at the end that cost us the game. I said, and show me those games. I said, because I guarantee you can count those on probably one hand. How many games he actually did something and decided moments that cost us the game. I said, now look at quarterbacks in the past who have lost us games, and we were never in the game to begin with. So
I got a question, and this is going to split everybody in half, but you have to ask the controversial question. Tony Pollard, can he carry the full load, the distance? I'm for the remainder of the year. Is that something he's capable of doing? Can he handle a full workload week in and week out? Your opinion?
To me, as of right now, I'm gonna say no.
Right.
But I'm gonna say a counter question is, this is where he'll earn his money. He's a free agent. You want to get paid? What you do from this point forward will dictate how much you get paid and how much money you cost yourselves.
Right, I got you. But so your answer was what?
I say no.
Okay. I'm undecided.
I'm kind of undecided too because
I'm undecided, and the reason why I'm undecided is because I don't know how we're gonna use him. You see what I'm saying? See, Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott are two different backs, so you can't use them the exact same. And the Cowboys want to run between the tackles. You know, I don't know if he can take that beating each night, but I see backs, smaller backs, the Christian McCaffreys, the
ETNs.
yeah, I see the smaller backs. If you game plan for these smaller backs, they can have success in the NFL. You know, so I think if we game plan properly, you know, West Coast offenses, you know, they have a role. Those guys, you know, is a matchup nightmare using those guys out, using them out of the backfield. We got a guy here, Michael Romero. We appreciate you coming on, man. All comment is a win for me because you follow me, so that means you need to get off my. Okay, I ain't got the D on my hat right now, but we appreciate you here, Michael. And you talking about some fly, Eagles fly. Didn't y'all just land last week? Are you coming off a win or a loss? That's all I want to ask, so I can get these excuses. Michael Romero, since you're here, we just want to ask you: are you coming off a win, or are you coming off a loss, or do you want to come on the program, or do we need to just block you? What you want to do? We want to talk sports, or what we doing, Mike?
But the Eagles, since we're on that topic, the Eagles' next stretch is pretty treacherous. They got Indy today, which is another power running team, and if they don't stop the run, Jonathan Taylor will eat them alive.
Exactly.
Secondly, after that, they play King Henry, and we already know that how that's going to go, and that probably is a loss because he's going to run up the middle. Then after that, they play the Green Bay, which is another power running team, and then they got the Giants. So the way I look at it, they probably going to drop 2 out of the next 4.
Hey, well, the way I look at it is they follow us, we don't follow them. So if you're flying, won't you fly it's right on up out of here. You know what I'm saying?
They go fly to a loss today.
You think Jeff Saturday gonna get them today?
Yeah.
That would be so funny, man. That would be hilarious. Yeah, we got to pick these games and get up out of here, man. NFL's gonna start in about 30 minutes, so we gotta pick these games. We'll go through them real quick, man. And let me go back to my screen, man, so I can see who's playing today. Dun, 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 dun.
I thought you had that Jordan Deck shirt on at first. That's what it looked like a little bit.
No, I ain't got that. Mine hasn't come in yet. The Jordan Dak shirt. I ordered one, and I ordered the hoodie too. But I was just going. Kelly said, "I think you should block him." I don't want to block him, man. This might be the only entertainment he get today. He sound lonely. Grown man coming on your page, telling me some cowgirls. Man, come on, man. Let's talk football. You know, I call the Eagles the Eagles. You know what I'm saying? Cowboys, man. You know, that shows me what type of guy you are for real. Anyway, we're going to let him stay for right now. When his manners run out, we'll block him. All right. So Green Bay got beat up by the Titans, right?
Yeah.
That was Thursday night. So we got the Chicago Bears and the Atlanta Falcons. Who you going with on this one?
Justin Fields is one of the most interesting stories this year, and I'm going with the Bears.
I'm going with the Bears as well, man. That boy, he balling. Fields is balling. I'm gonna tell you when I actually gave Justin Fields some props when we played the Chicago Bears. I was like, this boy for real.
Yeah. And that was the game you was gonna go to.
It was. I said, this boy is for real.
Well, they compared his player comparison was Dak Prescott when he came out. So
Justin Fields the real deal.
Yeah,
he got my vote.
Most improved for me.
I want him to keep doing what he's doing until they play us again. Just do what you do, but just don't do it against us. Then we got the Carolina Panthers and the Baltimore Ravens.
Ravens are full strength today. Everybody that was hurt is coming back, and they are bringing in Roquan Smith, and they were on their bye, so I'm going Baltimore. And they know Baker Mayfield, so.
Oh, man. I'm going to go to the Ravens, too. I can't go with the Baker Mayfield part through me. I was going to pick the Panthers in an upset until you said Baker Mayfield. I ain't nothing I can do. Yeah. Baltimore by 17. Then we got the snow game. The Browns and the Bills moved to Detroit. Who you got?
Me personally, if Josh Allen is the new anointed king in the NFL, you should have let him play in the 6 feet of snow. Let's really see if he really is.
Boy, you crazy.
But, I understand safety first. I'm gonna go Buffalo because indoors, I don't think Cleveland gonna stop Josh Allen with a passing attack indoors.
Kelly Antonio says he's taking the Browns. Everybody else is taking the Bills. I'm taking the Bills as well. Even though I think the Bills are who I think they are, they're gonna be a good regular season team. They ain't going to the Super Bowl.
Oh, not the James Harden of the NFL.
Ah, I heard that. Then we got the Washington Commanders and the Houston Texans.
Taylor Heineke looks like Taylor Heineken today, and the Texans win.
This is a toss-up game. Whew. You know I can't pick Washington. Texans by 5.
And Chase Young isn't coming back. They pushed it back. So this is without Chase Young. So
And here's an intriguing game since what the boy name was on here a minute ago? Romario.
Yeah.
The Philadelphia Eagles go to Indianapolis to play the Colts.
Jonathan Taylor runs for about 180, 190.
That's right.
Because I don't think Ndamukong Suh at 35 and Linval Joseph at 34 is going to make any difference for that running attack. And Fletcher Cox is just lost out there. So I still believe Jonathan Taylor go run wild up the middle.
Eagles drop another one. Colts by 3. Yeah, those additions won't matter. Where you at, Romero? Can you put your score on here? We just, I can't pick the Eagles either. Here's another intriguing game. The New York Jets go to Foxborough to play the Patriots.
I like the Jets and what they did on defense.
Uh-huh.
And they've made lots of additions. But I do like the Patriots with Mac Jones. I think he just gets a bad rap because he had to follow behind Brady. But I'm going to go with the Jets in this.
Okay. I just think Belichick does a good job against young quarterbacks. And he'll force this guy to throw some more interceptions today. And the Patriots will squeak this one out.
I mean, Sauce Gardner's tied with interceptions with Diggs, too.
Hey, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the Jets quarterback throwing it.
Oh, yeah. He interception prone, too.
All right, then. Then we got the Los Angeles Rams and the New Orleans Saints.
Who's the starting quarterback for this game? Is it Dalton or Jameis?
Well, I don't think it's Jameis.
Okay. Well, the Rams then.
But I think Stafford is injured too.
They said he was playing, but I'm gonna go with the Rams. I still feel they got more on their side than the Saints. And
everybody in the chat saying Saints. Larry, Monique, Deandra, Kelly, Karen.
I mean, oh yeah, no Cooper Kupp today for the Rams too. Yeah, Saints. Yeah, give me that.
I'm gonna go Rams. Close game. Rams. Then we got the Lions and the Giants. Who you got in this one?
I like the Lions. They fight hard and they tough defensive team, and I like their coach and how he coaches those guys up. I'm going Lions.
You see how even though we're talking sports, it's hard for us to choose any teams in our division to win. It's just hard, ain't it, man?
I mean, this we in the Odell Beckham sweepstakes, and what we do and what the Giants do matter to him. So I'm going Lions to sweeten our chances.
Do you know if the Giants win today and the Eagles lose, the Giants are atop the division?
So if the Eagles lose and the Giants lose, then the Giants would jump the Eagles?
No, I said it's a tie because the season's not over.
Oh, right. Okay.
We don't crown a champion or do tiebreakers till the season is over. They would both have identical records of 8-2, is what I'm saying.
And then we beat the Giants Thanksgiving, and then what does that do a 3-way tie then?
No, because we still be a half game back.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I'm just saying, a lot of things are going around. And
Let's
even the lowly other team is not that far back either.
The cellar dwellers.
Yeah, but they always stay in the bottom. And here's the game that went from a late NFL playoff matchup to a bottom dweller, the toilet bowl. We got the Las Vegas Raiders and the Mile High Russ Cooking Denver Broncos. Who you got in this one? The lonely game. That's what I'm calling it.
Russ was cooking overseas in Europe, so I believe it continues because the Raiders, they got guys that want to play football, then guys don't want to play football. Players pointing fingers at each other, saying they not invested.
What up, Vol? My man Vol here under Virginia Titans. What you doing, man? Heineke got y'all right, ain't it? Okay.
I'm going Denver.
You going Denver?
But that's also the Richmond Bowl because you got Cleveland Farrell from Richmond and Russ.
Yeah.
So it's a Richmond Bowl game.
This is a tough game right here, man. Josh Daniels is who I thought he was. He's an offensive coordinator. He's not a head coach. I'm going with the Broncos because the Broncos head coach said this week, I'm smart enough to know that I shouldn't be calling the plays, and he turned over the play calling duties to the offensive coordinator. So I got to give him kudos for that. He understood he wasn't getting the job done. Broncos were averaging like 14.6 points a game, wasn't cutting it. He said, I ain't getting fired this year. I'm going to put it on somebody else. I'm going to Broncos. Then we got the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Who you got?
No Jamar Chase. He lit them up in week 1.
Right.
I'm saying that the Steelers run it back and they win again today. And they do what they did to the Bengals in week 1 again this week.
Oh. Every time I pick against Joe Burrow, I lose. I swear I ain't, man, my fan dude, I don't know, it's big money messing with this dude, man. I'm not doing that today. I'm going with Joe Burrow and the Bengals today, man. Every time I bet against this dude, I lose, man. And I don't lose. He light him up. Every time I bet against him, I think he got a person something against me.
Oh,
He
no.
always shows up. So I'm gonna go with Burrow and the Bengals over the Steelers. My son ain't gonna. My oldest son, he's a diehard Steelers fan. He's not gonna hear this, but
Well said, I got your back. I'm going with Pittsburgh for you.
then we got America's Game of the Week. Your Dallas Cowboys and the Minnesota Vikings. How y'all see this one?
The last 2 against the Vikings have been close.
Yes.
So I'm going 24-31. 24-21.
Right.
Dallas.
All right, look. I'm not playing today. But if I was a player today, this is how I'm feeling. We just came off an embarrassing loss to the lowly Green Bay Packers. And I might not say this the right way, so y'all please forgive me. I'm going to get up in somebody's today. That's how I'm feeling. I'm getting up in somebody's today.
That's what
And
J-Rod Curse was saying. He
And
said
it just so happened to be, ain't going to be no goddamn scold today. It ain't going to be no scold. You know, I'm getting up in somebody's today. And it just going to happen to be the Minnesota Vikings. Now, I said earlier 27-24, but I done changed my mind. I'm going to open up a whole can of whooping today. 28-6, Cowboys. That's how I feel if I was a player.
It can't be scold, but it can be scold.
Well, we need to get scolded. Yeah.
Like when grandma would tell you, don't scold your hand
That's
in that
how I
hot
feel.
water.
So then we got the Sunday night game, the Kansas City Chiefs and the LA Chargers. Who you got in that one?
You know, since you want to talk about people, you say Joe Burrow burns you every time you don't pick him.
You got one too.
Just the Chargers as an organization, every time that I believe in them that they going to take off, and I
Right.
pick them in fantasy football to be my defense, and I drink the Kool-Aid every year, thinking that they going to do it. They let me down. I'm like Khalil Mack this year and Boza and Jackson and all the offense, and I'm thinking that they going to do it, and they just don't figure it out. So Kansas City.
Well, Kelly says the Chiefs. Karen says the Chiefs. Wanda says the Chargers. Larry says KC. So we're going to see it today.
Even last week, Justin Herbert, I thought he was going to do it last week, and he throws the pick at the end of the game. I'm like,
I got the Chiefs big in this one. Yeah. I got Chiefs big in this one. So then we got Monday night.
In
McKinley
Mexico.
Yeah, it is in Mexico. We got the San Francisco 49ers and the Arizona Cardinals. Who you got in this one?
I'm going with the and Hollywood Brown's supposed to come back this game for Arizona too.
Yep.
I'm still going San Francisco because they're closer to Mexico than Arizona. Well, they about the same.
Yeah.
So it's neutral, but I'm still going San Francisco.
Man, if it's a team I can't pick to win, it's that California team. Yeah, you know.
Is this because the catch?
It ain't just because of the catch. I got a lot of stuff that reason.
It's because of last year?
That's part of it. It still hurts.
Debo with the boombox.
Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, especially Debo with the boombox. You know what I'm saying? Come on, Cardinals. Step up today. You in Mexico. Eating tortillas and tacos and enchiladas. You know what I'm saying? Come on. Let's go.
But if they spend too much time in Tulum, why they there?
Well, they drinking that tequila.
It could be a long day. Be a long day.
The tequila gonna win over, man. All right, so we picked all the games today. We appreciate everybody for coming on the show. Parting words, man. What do you want to tell the football world today?
Keep your head up. Yeah, we lost last week, but the world is not imploding. I mean, the world is not crashing in, and all the stuff I saw was just everybody just like the world was crashing in because we lost.
Right.
We had the Packers beat. We was up 28-14. But we did do stuff. There were things we did do right. We didn't finish, but we did do things right. So still a lot of football to be played, and we still can win the division. It's still open for us to win the division with Philly dropping the egg Monday night. So, hey, keep your head up.
Definitely a lot of football left to be played, man. I'm sort of looking down the road. I looked at the Eagles schedule. I looked at theirs. They're pretty complimentary, you know. I think both of us got 3 big opponents left, and the other ones are winnable games. So it's how we fare and position ourselves for the playoffs. I fully expect us to be in the playoffs. And then it's about who you match up with once you get into the playoffs. And that's always the key every year. Who do you match up with? Some teams just have our number. Most teams play hard against us regardless. So that's the one thing about being a Dallas Cowboys player, coach, or a fan. You get everybody's best shot every week. You don't say, who we play this week? Oh, y'all play the Cowboys. Oh, the Cowboys. Oh, we got to beat them. We got to beat them. That's just the way it is. Or you say Detroit. Oh, Detroit ain't won nothing. They went 0-16 one time. There's a whole different mentality when teams get up to play the Dallas Cowboys. Go ahead.
A lot of these players have family members that are Cowboy fans, and that's another incident because the first thing OBJ said to Parsons was he said, my dad's family is down there. And he said, I have a lot of family on my dad's side that's already there. Exactly. So that's like the first thing these guys say is they know they got family members that are already diehard Cowboy fans. So it's like they want to stick it to their family too. So
no doubt. Yeah. Last thing I want to say before I leave, man. I almost had a reel ready for the players that were the tragedy at UVA. So I didn't get to post that today, man. But got to send out our condolences from me and Justin while we're on the panel today to the whole UVA community, man, and to all that were affected by the tragedies that happened, man. We get the news, okay? It's not our judge to decipher what happened, We just know the results. And the results was horrific, tragic, you know what I'm saying? And just got to send that out, man. Send out a lot of love to everybody, you know. And then on that note, Monique has the best way to send us out. Kirk Cousins, his own words. We're going to use them against him today. How you like that? I love that, Monique. That was dope. That was pretty dope, man. Hey, look, we're here every Sunday morning. If you would like to be a part of the broadcast, that means you on screen with us. Just let me know, man. We're just having fun talking sports. It's not a Cowboy show. I just get a lot of Cowboy fans that want to be on the show. But a lot of others, they text and we text back. So Remember, rep your team. Rep them hard or don't rep them at all. I'm a Cowboy fan. I ain't got no other team jerseys in the closet in NFL. None of them. Everything is Cowboy related, man. So y'all have a blessed football Sunday. May the best team win. But if you're not a Cowboy fan, I'm not rooting for you today. Bye.